Welcome to Pimpy's Investment Chat, where we keep investment talk simple. And here's your host, Pimpy.
What is going on out there, peeps? All right, over the last couple of days, I've had the pleasure of highlighting Kyle from the Fundamentals of Finance. And yes, he did a video about me, and I responded. I'd love to see any one of those other gurus out there respond to his video. But the truth of the matter is, what was important about what Kyle was doing was calling some of these gurus out on their bullshit. The one about Mark Z and the one about Frank 26, him going back years and showing you that they've been saying the same crap over and over and nothing has ever changed. I think it's important for people to realize who it is they're getting involved with, man. A guru means you're a teacher. That's what a guru means. Nobody's teaching anything on these platforms. What they're doing is regurgitating news. On this channel, we're grounded, and I do my best to bring as much education as possible to the subject that we're talking about, which is more than I can say for a lot of other platforms. But the part that he highlights is all these little scams that they got going on, which is the most important part. Like I said, I've said this in the past, and I'll say it again. It's not a secret that people have committed suicide based on what people say on the YouTube channel. And that's what we don't want to see happen. And that's why it's important for these people who are blowing smoke up people's ass not to do that. It's better for you to be just brutally honest instead of claiming that you got some secret code or some numbers on the back screen or some military intel or you got a Sandman or God's telling you. It's just BS. I had Sandman on my channel. In case you guys forgot. Anyways, let's just get into the news and talk about what it is that we are reading, shall we? Before we get started, do me a favor and hit the thumbs up button. And if you're not a subscriber, please do so, because when you do, it helps out the channel, and I certainly do appreciate it. You can follow me over on other platforms. I do have my own group over on Facebook called Pimpy's Investment Chat. Over here, we do talk about gold, silver, cryptocurrencies, as well as foreign currency investments. So head on over here and join us. It's free to do so. In here, I do post updates. If I should get on suspension from YouTube or get removed from YouTube and you want to know what happened to me, I'll let you know right here in this group. I can be found on Twitter, MeWe, YouTube, and the cool thing about YouTube, if you come over here and you join and you find my channel, I got videos going back, I believe, a couple years. So if you want to see some older videos that I have on Nasera, Jacera, gold, silver, cryptos, come on over here and join. Look me up and check out my videos. You can also find me on Odyssey. Catch me on Rumble. When I say that the links for all these are down below in the description, some of you don't know what I'm talking about. It's real simple. Just go down to the bottom right here of any of my videos. See this? This is the description. Hit show more. And there are all the links to all the platforms I just spoke about. So if you do want to hit on over to Money Middles, just click it. And there you are. So come on over. Join us. I look forward to having you. Whoa, take a look at this, man. A whole box of $100 bills. Yeah, that's how they get their money over in Iraq. It's shipped on a plane in huge pallets. This little box, this is nothing compared to the big pallets that they have the money on. It's crazy how they do this. But don't lie, you would love to see one of these planes, crash and hopefully everybody lives, but the money scatters all over your neighborhood. I'm just saying, it'd be nice to have a bunch of money. A matter of Homeland, a campaign to support the Iraqi Dinar and make it the gateway to build the country. Encouraging and dealing with the local currency under the current economic conditions in the country is an important issue, especially with the government's tendency to strengthen the Iraqi Dinar against other hard currencies, especially the dollar, as well as seeking to present it first in order to be an issue of a homeland in a real way. I've spoken about this many a times. The quicker they can do away with the dollar and start dealing only in their own currency is a huge step towards doing what they can to strengthening their own local currency against the US dollar. And we know that's happening the 1st of this January 2024. At least that's what they tell us. And the government's will to encourage dealing in the dinar in all daily transactions, the call to be a door to build the country again and seek to strengthen and promote the Iraqi economy and reduce dependence on other foreign currencies so that, according to the government, trends is fixed and the rest are variables so that the dinar is a gateway to sustainable development and prosperity at all levels. And I agree with that. I would love to see that happen. So Iraq encouraging people once again to use their local currencies and do away with the dollar in order to strengthen their own currency against the US dollar. Speaking of strengthening your currency, Iraq and 4 Arab countries have more than 1 million tons of global gold reserves. So you have Iraq, Algeria, Egypt, Lebanon, and Saudi Arabia have reached the global gold reserves of 1,028,004 tons of precious metal. And why do they have so much gold? Because you need that to strengthen your own local currency. Gold is way more liquid than anything else. If you want to make sure that the currency stays strong, you want to have tons of gold as well as foreign reserve assets in your holding. So Iraq maintained its 30th position globally. If you guys tuned in to the video with me, Chris Marcus, as well as Andy Shipman, I like what Andy had to say. The BRICS nations are going to be looking for a way to create a singular currency that's going to be backed by gold that they can use as a reserve currency. And it is my belief what they're going to go for is a stable coin. Government source, millions of dollars in shipments arrive through 2 banks to Iraq. I just showed you what it looks like when they arrive. They arrive in planes. I had somebody tell me, oh no, they don't. They do it digitally. People aren't arguing about getting digital currency. They want the physical dollars. And how do these people get the physical dollars? We fly them in. The point I was trying to make is they're not fighting for digital dollars. They're fighting for physical dollars. That's why the black market trades so many IQDs for physical US dollars. So how do they get the physical dollars? It isn't through a bank wiring. No, they fly them there. Yes. It's the military's job to make sure it gets there safely and well protected. So a government source revealed Thursday the shipments of dollars have arrived to Iraq Trade Bank. The source told the official agency the cargoes of millions of dollars arrived through the Iraqi Trade Bank within a bank's plan to supply the dollars. This came to meet customers' requests, he explained, noting that other shipments are scheduled to arrive within the next few days. Look, if Iraq is going to tackle the issue with the US dollars, and we're talking about the parallel market, then they need to flood the market with US dollars until the day comes where they stop using US dollars altogether. This article is pretty much the same thing with a little bit more detail, nothing major. Now, this is the one thing that I was warning about. You see, it's one thing for them to be launching missiles over there at the air base where US soldiers are, but it's another if somebody gets killed or somebody gets really injured over there in Iraq. That would be just an excuse to go in there and screw with Iraq all over again, starting from square one. We're trusting that al-Sudini is going to get this under control, but I'm not so sure that's going to happen. New details on bombing of U.S. Embassy in Baghdad. Armed factions target al-Assad Air Base. An official security source revealed on Friday new details regarding the missile attack that targeted the U.S. Embassy in Iraq capital Baghdad. The source explained in an interview with the news that targeting at dawn today at the embassy was carried out by mortar shells. And I would say about 99.9% of the time, whenever they shoot anything at our military targets, they don't hit. But it's for those times that they actually get lucky enough to hit or kill any of our soldiers that things become terrible. The source explained in his interview to the news the targeting at dawn today at the embassy was carried out by mortar shells. He added that the shelling was launched from a place within approaches of the new Central Bank of Iraq building. So the new Iraq building is already being used for all the wrong reasons. The source continued that the security forces found the platforms and 3 shells were equipped to launch. Meanwhile, the Islamic resistance in Iraq, which includes armed Shiite factions, announced a new missile attack on the Assad Air Base in the western province of Anbar in response to military operations carried out by the Israeli army in the Gaza Strip. An official security source said earlier this morning that the perimeter of the United States Embassy in the fortified green zone in the center of the capital of Baghdad was subject to missile attacks. According to the preliminary information, the perimeter of the embassy was targeted by a number of missiles. Well, we definitely don't want a Benghazi situation. So you can see right here, the attack by armed factions on our bases in Iraq have failed. Our attacks against those factions have been violent and effective. We will always continue to respond to these faction attacks, and that will be at the right time and place. Armed Shiite factions have stepped up their attacks on the military bases of the U.S.-led international coalition in Iraq and Syria after the events of October 7th in Palestine. I'm surprised somebody has not picked out this picture yet when, look, this is for the 17th letter movement. This means something just because it has 17 on there. Al-Sadini directs the prosecution of the perpetrators of the bombing of the U.S. Embassy and describes the attacks as a terrorist attack. That's the right verbiage, but will he actually catch anybody? So Al-Sadini directed all security leaders and in the responsibility sections to prosecute the perpetrators of the projectile attack towards the U.S. Embassy in Iraq and bring them to justice. If they actually bring these people to justice, then I'll feel different about the actual attempts by Al-Sadini to do something. Right now, it's just all talk. I don't know if they've actually ever caught anybody. Because as of now, it just seems like a lot of jaw-jacking and no real actions taking place. So we'll keep an eye on this. These attacks, if they keep increasing and they actually start hitting military men, you're going to see the U.S. respond in a way that we don't want to see happen. You will see a whole new wave of sanctions. You will see boots on the ground. And we'll be back to square one. We don't want to see that happen. Anyways, that's it for now. Let me know what you think. I look forward to hearing from you. I'm out.